Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crochet Crowd with my friends over at Joann.com. This is week number 3 as we continue our stitch sampler Afghan together. So this is for the crochet along. This is a mystery, but this is what it looks like here. And I love this square. Of all the squares other than the popcorn square, this one here has got a bit of popcorn, but it's also got cable work on the horizontal and vertical axis right down the center. So easy to maintain. I'm really motivated by this one in order to make it as big as I want to. So let's talk a little bit about this. So like the rest of the squares, this can be made as big as you need it to get. So for example, there's only 18 rounds in order to do this for this actual stitch sampler, but you can expand this once you understand that repeat patterning going on, especially in the cable work itself. The corners are all identical to each other, so that's something you don't really have to think about, but the cable work is very easy to maintain in order to get that crisscross look. I love this particular square. I think they did a great job, and I think you can make this into a really fabulous idea going in the future with different size squares. So this goes along with your stitch along. I guess the only thing that you need to watch for is just get yourself started with the cable work. The corners are really quite easy to maintain. They're just popcorns, popcorn chain 2 popcorn, and it is really quite a lot of fun. And just pay attention to the corners on this particular one because there are popcorns in the corner. It can get a little bit dicey at times, but I wouldn't say that would be a deal breaker because once you can identify where to put your hook, it really kind of works out. So I'll take you back down to the studio now and we'll get started on week number 3. So here's what it looks like straight down. From the straight down, you really don't get the idea of how much texture there really is because once you get the light to bang off it, it's awesome. Of the squares, I love this one the most, and it's actually not hard. And in fact, I finished this quicker than I ever expected because I'm so excited about the twisting action of the cable work that you just want to keep it, seeing it twist and twist. And I can see more people doing this as a full-size Afghan, just this square alone. So we're going to be introducing again popcorns right in the corners that you see. And then we're going to be doing our cable work, and there's 4 cables going up from the center just right straight out. Now I'm going to take you to the pattern because I want to show you a little bit what is consistent and where I think you're going to screw up the most. If you know where to screw up, then you know then you know what to avoid in the future. So let's begin to do that next. So here's a copy of the pattern, and you can find this pattern in the more information link of this video, and you're going to be able to go around in the center. So we're starting off our centers like we did for the rest of them. There's only 18 rounds like there was with the rest of the squares for the stitch along. So we're going to go around and have 2 circles, and then we're going to convert to a square and then just go once around as a regular square, and then we start the fun action of doing the cable work and the popcorns along the corner. So I've been very strategic about my highlighting because the highlighting actually is going to show you where I think that you're going to screw up. So if you know where not to screw up, then it's awesome. And what I'm going to do next is decipher with you on where I think that you should watch the most. So pulling back, what you're going to do is that I want you to watch these popcorns right in the corner. So you'll notice that I highlighted the one here on this side of the pattern, and I highlighted the other one on this side. Where I think you're going to screw up and lose stitches is if you're not paying attention, because the popcorns add a lot of bulk to the actual project. And what happens is that the top of the first popcorn can get buried underneath this bulk, and so you just got to shift it out of the way so that you can get the top of the popcorns with putting in 2 double crochets. So if anywhere that you're going to screw up will be right here when you're going to start your thing. So if you're missing stitches, I would look to this section right here as you're working your way up. Now what we have here is the cable work. Let me show you that. So let's get back to the very center of your project, and we're going to chain up 4, and then we're going to do 11 double crochets all the way around. So this chaining of the additional 3 that you had there will give you a number 12, and then we're going to work our way out. The next time there will be 2 in the same one, and then we're going to convert ourselves to a square and then do a regular square, and then we're going to start off then with doing the cable work as you see. So the cable work that you're going to see up here, we're going to start our popcorn edges at that point. So I'm going to just go take you through quickly through 1 through 4, and then we'll come back to the diagram and then review. So let's begin. We're going to start off with a slip knot, and then we're going to chain a total of 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now in the 4th one from the hook, the very beginning one, we want to put 11 double crochets into that one. So we're just gonna double crochet, and so that chaining that you just skipped counts as 1. So you technically have 2. So I would count 2 at this point and just say the next one is 3, and keep going around. Bury that straggler in over top. Okay, so just go right up over it and that'll get us stuck. So you got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Once you have your 12 in there, just verify because it makes a difference. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Join it to the beginning that you had. So now you have a round circle, and because you buried in that other straggler, get rid of it now, get it out of your hair, and then we're gonna move on then to round number 2. Going to round number 2, we're gonna chain up 3, which counts as a double crochet, and then into the same one that you did that coming from, to put another double crochet. So each one of the stitches all the way around, okay, so that's part of this one that you see. So we jump to the next one, and that's gonna be 2 double crochets. So each stitch is gonna get 2 double crochet in it. So 1 and 2. Okay, go to the next one. 1 and 2. Please go all the way around putting 2 double crochets in each stitch. There should be 12 groups of 2. So I've now come all the way around and I have 12 groups of 2. Don't forget this one here that's leaning over is part of that one. People assume that's a stitch left over and they fill it in. If you do that, then you'll end up with the wrong count. So make sure that you have 12 groups of 2 and then just join to the top of the first one to finish. Let's begin round number 3. Round number 3, we're going to chain up 4, which counts as a treble this time. And in the very same one, I want you to put a double crochet. So watch how we go across this until we get to the next corner. So the next one, the next stitch is going to be a double crochet, and then the next 2 are each a half double crochet. So we're converting to a square. So 1 and 2. The next one will be a double crochet. So we're getting bigger, going back to the corner. And then the next one is part of one corner. So there's actually 2 stitches that make up a corner. So the next stitch is 1/2 of the corner, and the first one is going to be a double crochet, and in the same one you're going to do a treble. So you're gonna wrap twice and going into the same one, and then you can officially turn the corner with chaining up 2. So even in the popcorn corners, it'll always be chain 2. So chain 2, come to the next stitch then, and you're gonna start the first one with the treble, and in the same one you want to put a double into the same one, and then work your way across. So the next one is 1 double by itself. The next 2 are a half double. Okay, the next one is going to be a double as we make our way to the next corner, and then the next one is the first one of the corner. So there's gonna be a double crochet and then a treble into the same one, and then do you remember how to turn a corner? It's by chaining 2. So 1 and 2, and then come to the next stitch. So the first one's a treble, and then a double into the same one, and that gets you that corner that you want. The next one is a double by itself, a double crochet. The next 2 are halves. The next one is a double, and then the next one is your first part of the corner again. So the next one makes it a double crochet, treble into the same one, chain 2 to turn, and come into the next one to start. So you start with the treble first, and into the same one you want to put a double. Okay, the next one is a double by itself. The next 2 are half doubles. The next one is a double crochet, and you have 1 stitch left. Okay, you can see that the corner's here. So you have 1 stitch left, so the first one must be this must be the last corner. So it's a double first, then a treble, and then to finish off you chain 2, and then you join it to the top of the first chain 4 that you started with. And that is officially going from a circle to a square. So let's move on, and we are going to do one round then of just regular double crochets, and then we're going to start then after that to begin to do your cable work. So right where you are, you want to chain up 3, so it counts as a double crochet, and that's part of this first stitch. So then you're just going to double crochet in each one of the double crochets that are there. Okay, or each one of the stitches I should say, because the ones that get close to the corner are a treble, but you're still just going to double crochet in each stitch going across to the first corner. And you know you're at the first corner by the chain 2 space that will separate it. Okay, so the chain 2 space is next. So what's going to happen here is that there's going to be 2 double crochets first, then chain 2, and then 2 double crochets. And that's how you officially turn the corner in this round. So you're gonna start off with your first stitch here, and you're just gonna double crochet in each stitch going all the way across to the next corner. And when you get to the next corner, again 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and work your way all the way around. I'll see you at the end of this round. So as you come to the final corner, remember that you started up and this was the matching stitch, so we have a complete empty corner to work out. So you're just gonna finish it off with the 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet into the same spot, and then you're officially done. So then you're going to slip stitch then to the beginning of the top chain 3 to complete the round, and then we're gonna go back to the diagram now, because now we're ready to do cables and popcorns. So we're now ready to go, and we're gonna start off and we're gonna do some cable work now. We're gonna get it ready because we're gonna do a crisscross in the next round after this. So we're just gonna chain up 3 as you can see, and then the first 6 here are gonna be a front post treble. So there's 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then there's 3 that are left after it, and then you do a popcorn for a corner. So again, we want to just make sure that we go all the way around. Where you're gonna screw up the most is making sure that you get these stitches that are right after a popcorn. Okay, so right after a popcorn is right here. You just want to make sure that you don't forget about these stitches here. So we're just gonna work our way around, and then the next round we're gonna do a crisscross, and this is not hard. It's just a matter of just paying attention to your stitch work. So as you begin then the next section here, you're gonna have 3 in a row, and then the next 6, and then 3 after that, and then popcorns. So please do this for this round, and let's get started. So let's begin round number 5. We're gonna chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and now the next 6 in a row are each gonna be a front post treble. So we're gonna wrap the hook twice, and then coming into the next stitch here, just come to the side of the post and then out the other side of the post. Wrap it, pull through 2, 2, and 2. And that's gonna lift that stitch up. So wrap the hook twice and go into the next one, and you're gonna do this for 6 in a row. This is a front post treble, so wrapping twice, going into the side of the stitch the post, and then coming out. So I'm looking to count the number 6. So this is really gonna get you started established with your pattern for the cable work. As I told you already, 6 is your magic number for the cable work. So you can see you got 5. Remember that this chaining up 3 was a double crochet, and now here's your 6th. And as soon as those 6 are done, you're gonna return back to a double crochet, and there just happens to be 3 left in this round. So 1, 2, and 3. Now to turn the corners, we're gonna do popcorns, and they're the same as what you did in week number 2. So wrapping the hook, and I want you to put 5 double crochets in first. So 1, and go right into the space, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So in the group of 5, you want to just drop your hook like you did in week number 2, come into the first one of the group of 5 out through the back, and put the loop back on and pull it through. And in this case I want you to chain 2. So 1 and 2, and just move all this popcorn, just shift it out of the way and do another popcorn there. So this is where it gets really tight in here to do that kind of popcorn layers in the corner, and you want to start with 5 double crochets first, okay, so you got your 5 in there. There's a group of 5. Drop the loop, go into the first group one of the 5, pull it through. So what you have to just do now, there's no chaining after you get this popcorn done. You immediately start. Do you see how this is partially covering up this front one? That's why I'm telling you that I think if you're gonna screw up your counts, you're gonna probably jump to the one that you can see. Just pull it out of the way so you can see it, and then just come into the top of the next one, and there's gonna be 3 in a row that are gonna be each double crochet. So 1, 2 and 3. So the next 6 in a row are each gonna be a front post treble. So we're just wrapping that hook twice and just coming into the front post. And just keep an eye on there. So there's 4 done so far. 5 and 6. So then that should technically leave you with 3 stitches left, and there is to the corner. So the next 3 in a row are just double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3. So I'm going to show you the corner one more time. The corners are always the same on all of these rows now going right up. The exception is the very last row is that you don't do a popcorn in the last row. So you're going to then just double crochet 5 times into that space. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Drop it, pick it up and push and chain 2, shift it out of the way. So just pull it out of the way and do another group of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Drop it, get the first one of the group of 5, pull it through. Again, see how this is partially covering that front one? Just pull it out of the way and make sure you get that top one, and again there's 3 in a row. So what I want you to do is that I want you to go all the way around using what you already know. You're not gonna see the trebles popping out too much at this point, but you will definitely see it in the next round. So please do that all for the remaining, and I'll see you at the end where we're gonna join it. So make sure you even do the last corner because it has to be done as well. So please do this and I'll see you back in a moment. So I'm coming to my final corner. It's already done. I'm just shifting. Remember that the chain 3 counts as a double crochet, so there should only be 2 double crochets that are exposed that should be left. And then we're going to then move up and do the next round, and this round now has crisscrossing that's involved. So you just, once you get your 2 in there, just slip stitch it to the top of the first chain 3, and that's what it should look like at this point. So you have some 3D texture going on. These front post trebles really are not jumping out yet, but they will in the next round. So let's begin to do the next round of crisscrossing. So let's begin to do the next round. So we're going to chain up 3. So this is gonna happen every time that we do a crisscross. So let's just chain 3. So to do the crisscross, we have to expose and reach ourselves to and skip over the first group of the front post trebles. So the first group is in 3. So just think about it, this is 3 and 3. Okay, there's a total of 6. So wrapping the hook twice, I want you to jump to the 4th one. So 1, 2, 3, go to the 4th. Okay, this is the first of the group of 3 on this side, and I want you to treble. So 1, and then go and do the next one. That's right beside it. Okay, and then do the next one. So now you have the 3 that you just skipped over that you can still see here. So now you're gonna go to the first one of the group of 3, so it's all the way back. You're gonna wrap the hook, come from the front side because it's easier, and then just come in and then just grab that post like that, and then finish your stitch as you normally would. Okay, then you're gonna come to the next one that's in a row. So wrapping it, and once you do the first one, the other ones get easier to manipulate. And then do the final 3rd one. So these just got placed in front of the other ones that you crossed over. And now you immediately jump to the next double crochet that is available to you over here. And just double crochet in it. and that kind of pulls it over. So you can see how I was talking about how these get compressed in, but once you get to the next round I'll show you how to fix that and make sure that you know what you're looking at. And you're gonna double crochet yourself to the corner. Now because there's popcorns involved at this particular point is that when you get to a top of a popcorn, which is right here, there's going to be 2 double crochets in there. So 1 and 2. Then we're going to do a popcorn right into this chain 2 space. We're gonna do 2 of them and make sure that we chain 2 in between each of them. So right into the corner space let's just put in a popcorn. So it's 5 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so drop it, go to the first one in the group of 5, pick it up. Now you're gonna chain 2 and you're gonna do another popcorn in there. So you just shift it out of the way, just pull it out of the way and then put another group of 5 in there and you're gonna make another popcorn. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Drop it, go into the first one and pull through. So you don't chain after these popcorns once they're done. And then what I want you to do is pay attention. See how this one here, this is the double crochet, the first one of the double crochet and then a popcorn. So this section belongs to here. So we have to shift this out of the way. This is what I'm talking about for a lot of going on. So you shift it out of the way and you expose the hole on top of this first popcorn and you're gonna place 2 double crochets in there. So 1 and 2. And now you're gonna work your way until you get to a front post treble. So you're just going to double crochet the remaining until you get there. So 1, 2 and 3 and then that's it. So 1, 2, 3 just like you see. Okay, so now this is the front post trebles that you want to work with and you want to cross over again. So you're gonna wrap over and skip to the 4th one. So there's gonna do that and you're gonna go in the front post. So it's a front post treble. Wrap it again twice, go into the next one after that and do a front post treble and then do it again. So 3 in a row. And now you're just gonna peel it back and now you're gonna go to the very first one, wrap and then just manipulate it and come around and do the post. The first one's always kind of the hardest, if you want to say it's hard. And then the next one after that. And then finally the next one after that. And then once you have your 3 done, you can see it's overlaying and then you're gonna come to the next double crochet and work your way to a corner. So you're making your way all the way to the next corner and you're just double crocheting after you've done your crisscross. Don't forget in the top here in the final popcorn here you're going to put 2 double crochets so that it expands the square and then you start with your popcorn again right in the very corner and then chain 2 and then popcorn and then just make sure that you do get the top of the popcorn with putting 2 more double crochets in and then working your way over to do the crisscross as you already know how to do. So I'll see you on the way all the way back around and then we'll move up and then carry on in the pattern. So I'm coming all the way back around. I've just finished my last corner and now I put my 2 in there on the top of this popcorn. And remember that we are not slip stitching on the corners. We're just maintaining this line going straight up. You're gonna get your last one in and then just kind of pull this back and get the top of that first chain 3 that you had started with on this side. And then it's gonna look like it's out of place, but once you get all the way back around it's not going to. So let's go back to the pattern. Let's quickly review and then we're gonna have 2 rounds of front post trebles and then we do the crossovers then once again, which I've just showed you how to do. So for the next round we're just gonna do a front post treble and I'm gonna show you how to peel these back so that you can see them. And then the next one is a front post treble and then you cross again. And then the next 2 are front post trebles. And then you cross again. The next 2 are front post trebles and then you cross and then the final ones here is that there's 2 front post trebles in a row and then the very final is just regular double crochet going all the way around. And I want you to pay attention that even on the corners in the very last round it's just 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space 2 over top of the popcorn as usual, and then you're just maintaining what you already see. So let's show you how to go back to the front post trebles again, and then I'm gonna leave the rest for you to be able to do for the crochet stitch along. So let's begin the next round. We're gonna chain up 3, which counts as a double crochet. It's not part of this cable work. And now the next 3 are front post trebles. So you don't really see them because they're stuck in behind. So you have to peel these back out of the way, and you can see them right there. 1, 2, and 3. See? So just move these out of the way and you can see them. So let's do this. So we're gonna wrap. We're gonna come into our first and do a front post treble, and that's gonna make it jump forward. You're gonna do the next one, and the third one is really buried in there, so don't be afraid to peel back that stitch work so you can see it, and then just see it right there. Okay, so I've been doing this long enough that I can see it. So there you see it. Okay, and now the next 3 in a row you can already see these 3 that are leaning over. Those are just front post trebles as well. So the way that the crisscrossing works, even though it looks like this thing is weaving in and out of each other, it's just more of a visual thing than anything. And then once you get these 6 done, you're ready to move on. So you see how that filled in that space? It was a big gap, the ugly gap there before. It's gone. So now you're just gonna double crochet yourself to the corner again. So you're only really worrying about those middle 6 that you have. You can see that I'm really not counting. I don't need to. I'm just looking for the stitch. This is over top of the popcorn, so there must be 2 double crochets there. And then you're just gonna do your popcorn again into the corner. So let's do that. There's groups of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Drop it, go to the first one of the 5, pick it back up, pull it through, chain 2, shift this out of the way so you can do the second one, and another group of 5 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then just shift. It's the first one of the group of 5. Okay, and then we don't chain one after. Move it out of the way so that you can expose this top of the popcorn, and there's gonna be 2 double crochets in there, and then you just move along. Okay, so there, see if you peel that out of the way, you see how this one here, this is your first double crochet. See, that's the next stitch that's on top. So you're just gonna double crochet yourself across until you get to that cable work. So really this area gets bigger and bigger in the distance because the square is growing out. And this is the last one before the crisscross. So let's review again. So we want to make these front post trebles. Again, just peel these back out of the way, and you can see all 3 of those. So just wrapping twice and do the first one, wrap twice and do the second. It's in the side treble, don't forget that. It's a front post treble. And then do the third one. The third one's always the tightest one in there. And then once that's done, you're gonna do the 3 that are leaning over. And then that'll put you back in line. So the next round that you have is that you're going to maintain these and keep these as a front post treble. The reason why is that it takes an extra round in order to get these to stabilize so that you get the look of this bouncing in and out of each other. So then you're gonna do every corner the same, and then that's it. So it's all pretty cool, right? So what I want you to do is I want you to maintain the pattern, use the diagram, and this was how you started, how you did your crisscross, how you accessed those front post trebles, and now it's just a front post treble next and then a crisscross in the next row after that, and you just have to maintain exactly what you see. So get all 18 rounds. In the final round it's just double crochets, so you're gonna eliminate, you're no longer gonna do these trebles in the last round, so just chain up 3, double crochet yourself across, and then in the top of the popcorn there will be 2 double crochets, and then in the chain 2 space there will be 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and then come back into the popcorn to put 2 double crochets on top. So just maintain that going all the way around. This is part of your challenge. good luck with that, and we'll see you at the end. And this is the third of the fourth week. The next week is the easiest one of them all, and this one is the most exciting, at least for me. So that's it for now for week number 3 for your stitch along. I love this. You know, you could actually in the future, if you wanted to work on this even more, is that you could do more than one of these squares, and the way the lines are crisscrossing and stuff, I bet this would be absolutely fabulous if you did squares that matched this particular design and put it together. Pretty fabulous. So pretty excited about it. So continue on to week number 4 next week as we continue our mystery along with our friends at Joann. So it's Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd, and again welcoming my friends over at Joann.com. And thank you so much, and we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.